Hi, everybody. Welcome back and happy Wednesday. All right, guys. Well, it's a little, it's funny. Ashley came on and she's like, well, it's a little bit of this and it's a little bit of that here. So I got my blanket. I think she literally has like the same exact blanket in her lap. So that was funny. That was a great way to start this. I wanted to let you guys know. I don't know if you guys believe in this stuff. I do. This morning, I was getting a lot of weird energy. Multiple different situations. I saw somebody quit in a restaurant and throw their apron across the room. I almost got hit by a car and the woman told me to go F off in a parking lot. And then I also came in contact with a giggler. So it's been a very interesting morning. And I was talking to my mom and I said, what is going on? And I said, is it like a full moon or something? She said, hold on, Adam, let me look. Oh shit, it's a full moon. So I'm just letting you guys know there is weird vibes out there today. Maybe just take that into consideration if things are going awry. However, at the end of the day, too, I did want to talk to you guys about the fact that we did our giveaway, our successful collaboration with Rose Forever. By the way, huge shout out to Marina over at Rose Forever. She has made this so much fun. And we gave out one to Sherry Vandenberg, another one to Sergio. And we're finally announcing our third winner, which I died when Jason told me her name is Heather Day because you guys know we love us some Heather Gay. So Heather Day from Kentucky, congratulations. We appreciate you and all of you guys. And we're going to continue to keep doing these giveaways with Rose Forever. And our next one actually is going to be a trip for one lucky winner to the Dominican Republic. And also, one of our farms is out in Kentucky, Heather. So I thought that that was really fitting. If you guys still want to be a part of the future Rose Forever giveaways, we're going to have a conversation, a meeting with them today. All you have to do is go to theblowcompany.com, check it out, and use code ROSE at checkout. We might do one extra giveaway because of that. We're stopping the code for the 20% off with Rose on February 14th. So you guys have 2 more days. So good luck, and may the odds be ever in your favor. With that, let's get to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with our girls, Ashley and Amani. Guys, let us know in the live chat where you are watching from, and let us know what you would rate last night's episode 1 to 10. I have some shit to talk about. Reba, I'm sorry, Reba. Let's go. Hi, ladies.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta.
You threw me off with Reba. I mean, I was ready, and then you said Reba, and I got knocked off kilter.
I just want to know. Let's start here. What would you, both of you ladies? We'll start with Amani. Amani, what would you rate last night's episode 1 to 10? 10 being the highest.
10 being the highest. I don't know if you guys will agree with this. Didn't yesterday seem like its own show in it itself? Like, it seemed like such a standalone episode, and almost like when you're watching a traditional TV series, how they'll like have one random episode that like segues into a new show. That's what it felt like. It felt very not normal. I would rate it, because of how dark and heavy it was, I rated a 7.
A 7? Well, you're right here with Care Bears. Okay, a 7. Ashley, what about you?
I'll go 7.5. I would have even gone an 8, but has Bravo ever heard of a content warning? I mean, it would take 2 seconds for a blip before the show started to just say, you know what? We're going to be talking about this today in depth. In depth. Very well said, Imani. I agree 100%. It felt like a segue into a different show, or like an aside episode. Like, yes. Here it didn't feel jointed with the rest of the city. However, we know Sutton so much better now. We understand who she is in her DNA in a way we didn't before. The fact that she opened up, the fact that she shared that with us, I can't believe, like, this is like Mary Cosby level sharing. Like, I could not believe we witnessed that on television.
I want to back up what you're saying really quick, because my mom loves to watch the shows with me, and she loves to, like, now that my mom lives around me and like she gets to do the things. My mom started crying last night and she started freaking out, and I was like, what is going on? And there was a man a long time ago, and I think it's like, literally, it's like, whether you want to say God or fate or the universe, there was this guy who, when my mom worked at John Deere, you guys know John Deere?
Yeah.
like he was obsessed with her, kept sending her notes and everything. And then she was like, okay, this is a little weird. I have small children. I have a husband. And my dad ended up winning tickets to Disney World on the radio, Wild 95.5. So won these tickets to Disney World at the same time that this man sent a letter to his family, showed up at the apartment that we were living in. It was a letter where he was saying that if I can't be with this woman, I'm not going to, nobody can, and I won't be here. Sent this letter to his family and then showed up to the house with all of these things to take out our entire family and himself. And we were at Disney. So by the time he waited out in the parking lot for 3 days, he was like, I can't wait anymore. His parents got the letter, and then he ended up just offing himself, which, you know, but my mom, it triggered her. So I agree with what Ashley's saying. It's like, yeah, instead of just putting it at the end of the episode and saying that you can reach out to somebody, maybe also put it at the beginning of the episode, because I wouldn't have had my mom watch that with me.
Right. Or like as somebody, I am a person, if I'm given, I don't like surprises. I'm very anxious. This is something I've worked on with my therapist. If I know what I'm going into, I can get myself better protected and like in the mind space for it. Even just a blurb, it could have said, you know, content warning, self-harm, and that would have, oh, okay, I know what I'm going to be watching, rather than watching and then all of a sudden like literally feeling winded, like all the like air was taken out of me. I felt like one of those like deflated like car dealership puppet things. Like I was deflated. But it was a great episode, and I love Sutton so much for sharing that. But yeah, it was tough. It was awful to watch, but amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I found myself empathizing with Sutton a lot more, just seeing where she came from. It just explained everything. And I think for that, it was a very important episode. I'm still confused as to why she chose Kyle and Garcelle for that. It felt disjointed. Like it didn't move the storyline forward in the sense of like, they could play that episode like in schools and things like that, just to kind of like, I don't know, because it is an important topic and it speaks to a broader issue of mental health in our country. But I thought it was well done for as much as you can, like, you know, talk about those things on TV. But to your point, there we go. To your point, they
totally watching Beverly Hills.
They totally should have had a content warning in the beginning for people who would find that subject matter very triggering.
You know,
can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
To piggyback, and I'm sorry, Adam, just to piggyback on what Amani said, I didn't understand why Kyle was there last week. I was like, why is Kyle there with Garcelle and Sutton? Like Garcelle and Sutton are best friends. That makes sense. But when we went to the house, like Kyle just lost her best friend.
True. I did not think of that.
Yeah, she, for those of you who might have just missed that, or, you know, it just, there's so much. Kyle's best friend, which is why she went through her health transformation, ended her life. And I think that that's why Sutton brought her, because she could understand that. And like, maybe I think that she thought like Kyle was making peace with that. And I wish production would have kind of like tapped into that, because it took me a second to put that together too.
Ashley, I don't even know if Sutton even had the foresight for that. Like, I think she just didn't invite the other ladies. I could be wrong. She could have been like, Kyle empathizes with me because she's been through a similar situation. But I'm shocked that didn't come up. Like, I'm shocked Kyle, at least it might have, but they edited it out. That would have been a very interesting conversation for Kyle and Sutton to have.
And that's what I want to know. Can like Sutton and Kyle and Garcelle, like Reba, can you pop in? Like, did this conversation happen in Augusta and was it cut out? Or I have a hard time believing Kyle wouldn't have made, sorry, Kyle. I have a hard time Kyle wouldn't have like made a point to say, hey, you know what? I felt this way when this happened to me. Like, I think that's what people do. They empathize. So I have a feeling I just didn't see it.
Yes. Missed opportunity.
I think well, let's get into Miss Reba for a second.
Her hair looks amazing here. I mean, that is good hair. For a woman her age, that hair looks good.
You know what? She does have good hair. That's give it up
for
that.
Hair.
We will give you this, Reba. Hair? You know, but I want to say, like, for her, at first, I think, like, I'm not gonna shy away from the fact that I don't like the way that she treats Garcelle. I don't.
Or Abby.
I think that they're clear underlying tones. People can take whatever they want. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to attack this woman. But then going through and looking at her and listening to her story and watching the way that she behaves and the way that she talks to people and the way that she acts, it's like this woman is like that. She is deflated. Like this is inflated. She's deflated. You know, like they said, well, you know, he took his life like 2 days before Christmas, and right there, like when she retired, and all of these things, you know, that happened to her. And she is just, she's like one of those, I think the best comparison I can say is like when you start lifting weights and you get calluses on your hand, and it just builds up your hands to be able to deal with it, and builds up your hands that way, like you're not just like destroying them. It's like this woman is a walking callus, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, like, she has been through so much, and that is why she's numb to all of this. She's like, do you want to go change for a brunch? What the fuck is brunch? I thought we were having breakfast. No, I don't want to change. I'm good. What's your problem? What the fuck are you looking at? And it's like, Reba, we are not all attacked. You don't have to be so defensive, girl. Your life is good. Over here in the back, I mean, maybe there were times like with the husband and stuff like that, but like, what is going on? And I feel like I even though I don't love it, I started to understand better watching her in this episode.
You know what? It makes 100% sense. And it was, Garcelle clocked it. Garcelle clocked the big issue between Sutton and Reba. And it's that Reba has a little bit of resentment towards Sutton because of the relationship that she had with John. What's the dad's name? I'm sorry. I was going to say John Clark, but I think that's the brother. Or John Paul or something like that. But I think Garcelle clocked it. I think the mom has some resentment toward Sutton. 100%.
I agree. And I think her opening up, I love history. Like, I'm a really big history nerd. And just, I think the perspective of her being raised post World War II, when there was nothing, people were like using burlap sacks as clothes. People weren't focused on being told they were pretty or not. This woman is of a different time. And it's really, really hard for people our age to connect. This woman's been around for like 80 years. That's almost 100 years.
She's like a sea turtle.
Crazy.
Well, Ashley, I want to piggyback off of what you just said. And I think Kyle really brought up a good point when she was speaking with Sutton. She was like, and this, by the way, doesn't excuse any sort of prejudice at all. Age is, to me, it doesn't. That means you have more time to educate yourself. But anyway, Kyle was like, this woman is 80 something years old, Sutton. You're not going to change her, but it will be good for you to have this conversation with her for you. And I was like, that was a really good note that Kyle said. Like, you're not going to change her, but you should have this conversation with her.
Watching Kyle and Garcelle's face with the cameraman zooming in as they're having this conversation, and she's like, you know, like, why don't you ever say that you're proud of me? And why don't you ever, like, pretty much like, why don't you acknowledge it? And she's like, I don't have to do that. And I just looked, and, you know, when I met Ashley for the first time, I was so excited because I finally got to go to Kathy Hilton's house, which I've talked about for a couple of years. And when Jason and I got married,
sorry.
No, that's okay.
When Jason and I got married, we got a gift from Paris Hilton of her new like kitchenware thing and all that. And I was so excited. And I know that it's not the same thing because I'm not Sutton Strack, but I remember calling my dad and my stepmom, and I was like, how cool is this? Like, what? I used to love the simple life. And they just told me straight up, they were like, honestly, we're not surprised by, or like, we're not impressed by anything that happens. At this point, we're just not shocked. Like, and I was like, no, this is great. This is exciting. How fun. And they're like, we're just not shocked. And I'm like, what are you, like, you're numb now? And that's kind of how she is. She is numb. Sutton's like, look, Mom, it's my capsule collection. It says name them. You don't see it? Look, I said name them. You see where it says name them? And she's like,
that's nice.
Go get the grits. What are you doing?
Yes.
Like, well, you know?
Adam, I kind of relate to that a little bit. I feel like sometimes, like, in minority families, like, it's expected of you to be excellent. And like, when you perform the way that you're supposed to perform, it's like, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. So I kind of understand that, because I relate to that a little bit, especially like in school. It was expected that you should get A's and you study and you do this, that, and the third. So it was like, congratulations for being a good student. That's your one job, is to be a good student. So I kind of get that mentality of the mom, but like telling people you love them is not trite at all.
It's really like not, like it's so weird because like I don't let people touch me or hug me or anything like that. I'm so weird about that shit. But like I will tell people all day, I love you. I love you. I'm like Will Smith or Will Ferrell and like Elf. I'm like, I love you.
Yeah.
Like, all the time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, love you.
And I get what she means, that like people say it as a throwaway comment, but throw it away to your child. Who cares?
Right.
Yeah. Well, also too, it's like, I think it depends. Like, yes, things are overused. And, like I always say, love you, bye on YouTube. And that's like, sure. That's like, love you, bye. That's kind of just what I say. But like, when I say it to a person in general, I'm like, no, I want you to know. And my mom told me when I was younger, she would say, I love you when she get off the phone. And I would say, love you. And she would say, no, you have to say, I love you, or it doesn't mean anything. And I'd be like, what? So now I always say, I love you. And when Jason says, love you, I'm like, no, bitch. Or you go down those stairs, you better put an I in front of that.
Exactly.
I love you. But yeah. Sorry.
Can I just say justice for Philip, the son? Because Reba is constantly taking shots at Philip.
Not wanting to sleep in the weird kid's room with the fish tank. Like, poor child. And it's not weird to have a fish when you're a little boy or any
Reba,
age.
Reba, you know what? I want an ultimate girls trip. Okay. Let me just pitch this to Bravo right now. I want Mama Joyce.
Oh.
Okay. I want Candace Diller Bassett's mom,
who's also a therapist, like Reba.
I want Reba. I'm trying to think of other moms and like parents.
Tamara's mom could be fun. Throw her in.
Dallas D, Mama D.
Mama D.
I just want to stick all of these moms on this one trip and just see how their faces, like even Mama Joyce, like, I don't know if you guys ever went through this phase, but I think in my 20s really realized, like, you're not as cute as you think you are, with like the comments that I felt like I could get away with. And I used to like, work at Ruby Tuesdays and get people's coffee and be like, okay, well, Miss Patricia, I don't know, like, I got your coffee and like, how are you doing? And just really putting myself in situations like, or acting like I know somebody when I don't. And as I started getting older, they were like, who are you talking to? I don't know you. And I'd be like, I think I'm being cute and funny. And Mama Joyce and Reba and all of these other moms, I feel like they just look at you like, why are you talking to me? And it's like, I don't know what to say right now. I feel so uncomfortable around all of you.
Very humbling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just, but also like, why are you guys so like beyond, when you guys are like the ones with like the richest families and the richest, like, why are you not just so much more happier? And I guess, money doesn't make you happy, but like,
so true.
Hey, smile. It's okay. Like, you live in a big, beautiful house and like you're taking care of your set. Just smile. It's okay. You too, Reba. We're sorry. Anyways,
on behalf of women, please don't tell us to smile. Thank you.
Oh,
I mean, listen, I just got invited. By the way, I just got invited to a Galentine's on Sunday, which I was like, well, I'm a gay, not a gal. And they were like, no, but we thought about you. And I said, that's very, very sweet. And I get people all the time as a gay dude who just think that I should be or do things a certain way. I said I was watching football the other day. People are like, you're gay. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, that's a stupid thing to say. So now I'm going to say, yes, I watch football. And Ashley, smile. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
There's no way to get a smile off my face faster than telling somebody to just smile. Like, why don't you be funnier? Why don't you make me smile? Like,
make me laugh, Ashley, and smile, and make me laugh and smile. It's like,
be more interesting, and I'll smile.
It's like, Yeah, that's true. I don't like when people tell me what to do anyways.
Can we just have one moment for a little justice for Reba? Reba listened. Reba heard. It might not have come off cute with Garcelle, but she said, I thought it was very cute and joking. She's like, oh, are you the messenger? But I really feel that Reba heard and understood what Garcelle said. We saw that in this maybe awkward conversation, but we saw her understand what Sutton needed from her as a mother. And then at the very end, I don't know if you guys noticed, but her mom complimented her crab cake, which is a big deal. And she said she would go to LA. Like, I think this was so beautiful and productive. Like, there was so much progress made. I am so excited for Sutton and Reba.
Yeah. I would love to drop in and see how their relationship has improved, or if it has.
I don't think that it's ever going to be like with her going to Beverly Hills and stuff. I don't think that it's ever going to be what Sutton wants, because I think that you look at other families and you'll always do this, and you look at other people with their siblings and you always think like, why can't I be like that? Why can't our situation be like that? And I don't think that she's ever going to achieve that. But what I do think is like what Kyle said, by communicating with your mom, you will have that peace,
Right.
and you will know that you did it. If something, God forbid, happened tomorrow to, like my parents, I would want to know, man, I had these conversations, I made peace, I feel better. And it wasn't like a conversation that I wish I would have had, and like, I'm going to stew on it for the rest of my life,
Yeah, I think closure and peace is the most important thing. And I think if nothing else, Sutton got that. Even going to her house, where she grew up, and seeing that, I think, she doesn't need to go back ever again. I feel like that was all the closure she needed.
By the way, I know this is kind of rude, and I'm sorry. How much do we think Avi's getting paid? Because I feel like I feel like this poor guy is like given like rations, and like he has like a little chain to his leg. And I feel like when the cameras are off,
when Sutton gave him the side eye for eating a piece of pickled okra. He's eating a piece of pickled okra.
I'm so afraid for him.
I'm so afraid for him. He needs a raise. Whatever Sutton is paying him, she needs to pay him more.
Like, think about the difference in Avi and like Ann Maddox, right? Like, Ann was with like this moron who's like, yeah, I'm gonna do some shrooms and get really fucking creative and like, ah. And he would be like, yeah, Ann, I'm gonna go into the gym right now. Will you check out my Amazon boxes and let me know what you think about them? It's gonna be real great. And like, Sutton is like, Avi, clean lines. What are you doing? What is that? What are you wearing? Avi, open my door. Avi, what do you do? And it's like, it just shows there is such a difference in both, same professional field, same exact job, two totally different people that you're working with. Sutton scares the shit out of me as like a boss. She does. She scares me. She has those pursed lips and those eyes. And I see now through Reba, thank you. And we appreciate you because you showed us where she comes from. And now I look at Sutton and she's like, I'm like, Avi, run.
Avi, run. Even just looking at Kathy Hilton's help, I hate to say help, but like
her staff,
thank you. I feel like she treats them better.
Yeah.
She treats Avi.
You know what's wild too is I had a conversation in New York City with this woman one time, and she was really, really, really nice. Her name, it was really quick. We were at a salon, and she had this whole conversation with what she does. And she said she's worked for this family and takes care of their kids. And now she takes care of the grandkids. She's been with the family for like 35 plus years. And she said, I'm the help. And I remember asking her, I was like, isn't that like, do you say that? Like, do you say the help or like staff? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, if it doesn't offend me, why does it offend other people? And I said, well, I don't know. I'm not like spearheading this argument. I don't know.
Yeah.
I said that I just thought that like one is like derogatory. And she's like, no, she's like, that's your new generation doing that. And I was like, okay, well, Jason, I gotta go. So I'm bowing out of this conversation. Thank you. But
exactly.
it's like when people say master bedroom or primary bedroom, it's like one sounds like one sounds like you're wrapping it in a bow and making it cotton candy, and the other one just sounds like, I feel like I can't say this.
Well, one's rooted in racism.
Yeah.
In slavery.
Right. Like it's like
rooted in slavery. Period. This is not a political conversation. That is what, when they say master bedroom, that's what it is referred to.
Don't say master bedroom.
It's a primary. What harm is it to say primary suite? Like literally, what difference does it make?
Primary. Okay.
Do you remember Ramona learning that on New York?
Oh yes.
She just had such a hard time. Like it's just like instead of saying it's 2 syllables, master primary, we're adding a syllable. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah. Okay. So going back, Avi.
Ooh,
we're gonna give you the Britney Spears treatment, and if you need help, just wear yellow on social media, and we will come get you. We will come help you.
So true.
Yeah.
We will save you from Sutton's track. Now, there is another conversation I want to get into because I don't know if the three of us are going to agree on it, and I love when I don't agree with you guys or anybody else on something, just because I am so open to different perspectives and trying to understand where somebody else is coming from and their thought process. I think that's how I learn a lot. Even the Addams family, like the community will argue and then they're like, oh shit, I didn't think of it that way. I want to talk about the conversation that Dorit had with Bose and Erika.
They are good friends to her.
Yeah,
Dorit needed to hear it. Erika's been saying it. Imani commented last week that Erika literally gave a master class in how to handle it. It went in this ear and out that one. Bose did the same thing. Those women were friends to Dorit Kemsley in that moment. And Dorit was not hearing it until Bose literally had to say, wake up. She literally had to say it. I even wrote down what Erika said. She said PK is ruthless, and Bose said PK is setting a trap for her.
100%.
He's any of it.
100%. They clocked it. They were like, he is pacifying you right now so that he can steamroll you, Dorit. Wake up. I hope she has.
I hope so.
Well, didn't we say that the 10 years is in March?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know who said that. I saw somebody online said it, but I didn't know exactly where
online a few different places that it is March for sure.
Okay. Well, that's like literally 2.5 weeks away.
So do we think there's going to be an announcement by then? Like, do we think PK is going to come out with something? I'm just so curious as we're approaching that 10-year mark.
Here's the thing. This is where I kind of bounce back and forth with it. Like, Jason and I have been together for Ashley. How long have you been together?
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Almost 20 years.
Wow.
We've been married. I know we've been married 11 or 12 and we dated like over 9 years. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's weird.
It's
huge.
huge.
I haven't had sex with anybody for like 20 years, except for my husband.
You're going to be like the next sea turtle, like Reba. Like, okay. No, the reason I asked that is because, like sometimes I'm too much of an open book to a fault, and Jason is very, very private. And sometimes I just like unapologetically, like I'll walk into the gym like, hey, how's your morning? I don't know. Ask this asshole, because like we'll get into like an argument about something walking out of the car. And I'm like, I can't just like, I don't have a poker face. And people are like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Why? They're like, well, because it seems like you guys were like fighting or something. And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. And they're like, like, just know that you don't have to deal with that. And they'll tell both of us that. And I'm like, no, we are in a relationship and there are ups and downs. And when I decided to get married, I didn't think in my mind, like the first time that we fight, or if we don't get along, like automatically just throw it away because I can go out there and be with somebody else who will appreciate you, vice versa. Jason and I both, and so when I'm watching the situation with PK and Dorit, I think it's very easy to look like, okay, well, you sent this nasty ass 7 to 9 page email telling her how you will just take her through the ringer. Unfortunately, you can't take that back. Once you cross that line,
100%.
She's never going to trust you in that same way again. But also, I see where Dorit was like, it was a nicer conversation, and we have kids, and like maybe we can, get through this. Maybe, like, I don't want to just throw all of this away. This is the father of my children. And it's like, it's such a hard, where do you go in it? You know what I mean? Because,
Right.
like for PK, when he was with PK, Dorit didn't have this like very public career. He wanted her to. I think it got way more out of hand in like the best way possible for her than what he expected. And I think it took the celebrity away from him and really put her on a pedestal.
Right.
So I think he struggles with that. That is a PK problem. And then for her, I think that I think Dorit has a very expensive lifestyle, very expensive taste. And I think that also irritates him. And I think that she's also like, wait a minute, but I'm the one taking care of the kids. And I'm the one who does everything at home for the family while you're gone. I think it's just, there's so many components and moving parts to this relationship. It sounds easy on the outside to be like, just throw it away. Like, what are we doing? As opposed to, well, like, no, work on it. But then like, it's like gambling, right, guys? It's like if you put your money into Bitcoin, or if you go to a poker table and you put your money on, like whatever, you are gambling essentially if you don't protect yourself. So I understand what Erika and both are saying too, like, get ahead of it before you get screwed over. It's so crazy across the board. I'm so conflicted. I really am. As a product of over 11 divorces, like my parents, I'm conflicted.
I feel like nowadays it's so much easier. I've never been divorced. I can't imagine what it's like splitting from someone who's all I've known. Ashley, to your point, you've been with your husband for almost 20 years. Like, that's hard to go from like that consistency and having 2 young children and then being like, I'm throwing this life away and I'm starting again. Ask Erika when she had her fall from grace. That was a huge transition for her, and it's hard.
There wasn't even a kid involved in that. That was just like, and also Erika, Erika, no offense to you, like the trying to file for divorce on the same day as like the election, and then also pretending like you didn't know that the whole world was coming crumbling down. It's like Erika knew what she was doing, but there were no kids involved. She was like, once the money got going, so did Erika, and she knew that this was all about to crumble down and she didn't want to be a part of it. It's different. This is a family with 2 little babies.
Yeah, they're young. How old is
I think 10. I think he just turned 10, maybe. I don't know why that's in my head.
Okay, so as someone who has a 10-year-old little brother, that's still a baby. Like,
yeah, you're in 5th grade.
So I get Dorit, but also if the inevitable is going to happen, you need to put these safeguards in place. You need to be smart. And I know Dorit's smart. So like to Erika's point, like if you guys are going to divorce and it is going to get messy, you need to protect yourself and your babies.
Yeah. I can't believe, I hate when these housewives don't, and I'm not a mom. And does it sound like I'm mom judging? Yes. And I guess I am. So take it for what it is. But I hate it when parents don't tell their children what's happening. We saw it with PK and Dorit this year. We saw it with Stacey on Potomac, not being honest with her kid about her and her husband, live like in the same house, but different rooms, but they're not being honest about the divorce. Like, kids are not stupid. Be honest with your kids. Let them understand. Like, I think it is doing a huge disservice to children.
That's an interesting perspective. I tend to agree more with, or align more with, like shielding your children from like adult things, because like I just love innocence. But to your point, maybe that's not helpful. So I could understand why they would be a little bit more putting everything with a bow on it to their children.
You know what is funny? And I'm going to speak from my own personal experience. I didn't get to witness my parents' first divorce until I was in 5th grade. And in 5th grade, I had this kindergarten through 5th grade. I had all of the same classmates, this perfect life in my eyes. Like, it was just like I walked down to the neighbor's house and everything, like my stepmom at the time ran Toys R Us. So it was like the Pokemon games, and it was just like, it was everything, and then I got the evil stepmother. And when I did, my dad tried bribing me by telling me, look, she has a parrot. You love animals. Look at this parrot. And was like telling me about it and then sneaking me to go see her. And we would tell my stepmom at the time that we were going fishing or doing something like that. And he was like, this is, you know, like mine and your little secret, right? Shh, just us. And I look back and I'm like, after that, that whole innocent part of my childhood literally got turned upside down. I grew up so quick after that. Like
Sure.
there wasn't the magic of like Christmas and thinking that certain things existed. There was no more innocence. It was fight or flight and like learning to survive is what I got thrusted into, which shaped me to who I am today. But it really is. I think that I agree with both of your points. I think that you should be honest, but then I think at some point you also should preserve your kids' innocence, because once it's gone, it's gone. Like you don't get it back, you know?
100%. I agree. I'm sorry, Ashley.
No, go ahead. I think we were going to say the same thing.
Okay, I was reading Zoan's comment, and that's valid. If my kids asked me a question, I probably would then be like, okay, so let's talk about this. So I agree with that. I totally forgot Jagger did ask because the kids were talking about it. That's a good point to mention.
Well, and I just recently caught up on Potomac, so because I watched half the season because I didn't like it, but I finally kind of just put it on in the background. But I thought it was interesting. At one point, Mia and Gordon's kids, in a conversation with Mia and Gordon, said, "Oh, but didn't you guys meet at a club?" And the parents were like, "Yeah." And then the kid was like, "What kind of club?" Because they knew, because they heard it at school or on the internet. I don't know how to have that conversation easily in advance, but like those kids came from school. They know that mom and dad met in a adult club, a gentleman's
Imagine
club.
being Kim K when Northwest asked, "Mom, why are you famous again?"
Okay, but also I think the way that again, not parent shaming, I don't have children. I've raised my younger siblings though. But watching how Mia parents her children and how Dorit parents her children, I would totally go to the Dorit side. Mia exposes her children to too much. Their innocence is, I get such a visceral reaction to that because I'm just like, you are including your children in grown folks' business way too much.
I want to take a shower, like literally even just talking about her. Like I want to take a hot shower.
The fact that her children walked, I'm pretty sure, was it that they walked in on Mia and Ink? Is that what it was?
I think so.
That's horrible to me. I hate when children are exposed to like sexual things early.
I never had that. You know, like
that's disgusting.
I mean, we had different situations that we went through as kids, but I agree. I think that listen, it's like if your kid, and first of all, if what Dorit is saying is true, that PK is an absent father and that he's never really there anyways, and she has to always explain to Jagger. I don't really know how Jagger would have picked up on the fact that now all of a sudden he's even more absent when he's always been absent, which is what she's saying. So that part, I'm like, I feel like there's more to that. Same. But I do agree. If your child asks you a question, I think that there is a level of responsibility. Not a parent. I'm right here with Amani and Ashley, but like, I think that there's a level of responsibility to carefully articulate that message and give that to the kid where it doesn't thrust them into grown people's business, but also it's like you are being transparent with them enough for what that age allows. Like they don't need to know everything. They don't need to know that you were having threesomes. They don't need to know that you were cheating on people. They don't need to know that like mommy and daddy slept with mommy's friend Jackie on the beach.
Right.
Like your kids don't need to know that, you know, like my dad used to always tell me, he'd be like, son, at 12 years old. This was before he found out that I was gay and I still like football. Thanks to those who were wondering. He'd be like, son, I lost my V card at 12 years old and I snuck out the window to my blah, blah, blah. And he's like, so you're 12 now if you know? And I'm like, what? No.
Exactly.
Never. Like, just like, and now I look back and I will laugh because my parents are my best friends. And I'm like, why would you tell me that at 12 years old? Like, why would you say that to me?
Right.
Also, I also, again, I'm going to say again that I'm not a parent, but I really like the parenting style because like sometimes equality, you have to meet certain children where they're at and like, you know, your parent or, you know, your child and what they can understand and cope with. So maybe Jagger is at a point, her children just seem super advanced anyways. And I wouldn't expect anything less being raised by Dorit. You know what I mean? Like they might can handle, you know what?
they had a school in their house during COVID. Like they straight brought school into their home.
Yes,
These kids are
yes.
educated.
I
They're
just want to know what their little accents are going to be. Is it going to be like a little English one? Is it going to be like a blender like Dorit, or is it going to be
A
like just
blender.
So,
like regular
I
English?
mentioned before on one of the
Like
lives
American.
that I'm rewatching Beverly Hills, and right now is the season with the break-in, and Little Phoenix has a British accent. She sounds like Hermione. So and this was 2022. The
Wow.
season I'm watching. So she might have grown out of it because she's in school. But I would like to hear them talk more, just so that do they sound like Harry Potter?
Did you guys ever watch Ladies of London?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Do you remember? I forgot what her name was. But she ended up getting with the Earl of Sandwich, and
I
she
remember
had,
that. I don't remember very clearly, but
I'm with you, Ashley.
she had the little dough balls and like to do yoga and ride her bicycle, and she was American. She was one of the American ones.
Yes.
And her kids would come home and they'd be like, Mommy, how do you feel about that, Mommy? And she'd be like, it's so wild. I gave birth to these little British things, like these
Isn't that
children
weird?
that
And
talk
even-
to
That's
me
funny.
with these little like posh accents. And I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, that would be so weird. Like,
Well, did you guys like ever follow the Irwins, like Steve Irwin's kids and all that? It's so interesting to me because Steve Irwin married an American. I forget what her name is right now, but her children, like Bindi and whatever the brother's name is, they have Australian accents, and it's crazy. It's like, I'm American. How can I give birth to these two kids that have an accent? It's so funny.
It really is funny. I mean, even my brother-in-law, he married this really gorgeous woman from Brazil, and
Mhm.
her kids are so funny because they're bilingual, but they go in when they were younger, they would go from English and transition into Portuguese, and
Yeah.
they would start a sentence and they'd be like, "Hi, how are you? Like for dinner, can I please have peixe?" And they'd be like, "What?" And they would be like, "Fish, fish, fish." I'm like, I'm not Portuguese. You're Portuguese, but teach me everything. You
I
They're
know.
like,
I
but
think that's so funny how that happens.
it's-
Can
I
I
think
also say I love Bose and her daughter's relationship. That was sweet.
Whose? Oh, Bose.
Bose.
oh, amazing.
You guys can tell honestly, and maybe you have a different perspective on this.
Mhm.
One, I think Bose she's raising her daughter to be such a strong, independent woman,
Yes.
because you can tell this woman has been through some shit. But then also, like, I think that Bose, I have to say, and I don't know, we're getting a highly edited version.
Mhm.
I think that's the way that I would want to raise my kid is
100%.
I bet you her daughter was a kid and innocent until there were times to have certain conversations. I feel like she
100%.
probably was not exposed to like a level of nastiness and how cruel and crude the world could be. But she was, like available to open conversations that have shaped and built who she is today. I think that Bose, I got to give it to her. Like that's
100%.
probably, like Lisa Vanderpump. I remember working around Max and also Pandora. Pandora is their blood daughter, and Max was adopted. Max was off the rails. There was one time at Sir where he while he was supposed to be doing dishes, the whole restaurant smelled like it, and he would always get in trouble. They would take his stuff away, and then finally he didn't have an apartment, he didn't have a car, and he was sleeping on somebody's couch with no electricity. And that's where he was at. Now he's doing amazing. But then Pandora just was the saint in this, they shielded her from everything. And then he was kind of like the stepchild. So it really is. It's an impact every step of the way. It matters. It's wild. This is why I don't have kids. I just have dogs. I have a horse and my little naked wussies.
I love that. So it's so interesting because I think your children, it goes two ways, right? So at one point they are such a reflection of you, but then also you can't predict what your children are going to grow up and do. So it's not necessarily fair to say that, but I just love watching all of the children from the different franchises and just seeing how they are. For example, we'll talk about Beverly Hills. Porter is so well spoken. She behaves so well.
Well, the other one's weird. Ask Reba.
The other one's weird. But you can tell those are Sutton Strack's children. I always rave about Kyle Richards' daughters. They seem like the sweetest, nicest, kindest girls, Kyle Richards. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's interesting to see everyone. Kim Zolciak's daughters make sense for Kim Zolciak. You know what I mean? Not to shame them. Everyone lives life their own way.
No, that was a total compliment.
Teresa's daughters are little versions of Teresa. Like,
Yeah,
those
Teresa's
daughters are
daughters,
carbon copies.
all
Teresa's
except for,
daughters are good. Oh,
I mean,
Melania got into the University of Tampa. That's a private school.
Melania is the biggest sweetheart with her stepbrother, by the way. If
Oh
you ever
my
watch her on
God.
TikTok,
Yes.
she is the cutest, sweetest. Like, Melania is it for me. I see sometimes the way that Gia acts with people where she is very annoyed. She smiles, she's gorgeous, she does all of the brand deals, and she can put it on for like cameras and when she needs to work, yes. But then I've seen how sometimes like she talks to people and I'm like, but then you have to think too, like that girl was exposed to so much. So
Yeah. Gia grew up super quick.
what do you really say about that? But I have to give it to, if anybody, I look at Kyle Richards' kids as probably one
Giselle's
of my
too.
favorite. Oh, yep, Giselle.
Giselle's girls are
right.
amazing.
Amazing.
And again,
They're so
cute
funny 'cause
Mia.
they just check their mom too. They're like, Mom.
You know, I love when the children clock the parents because it's just like they humble them. So, like Giselle's the twins especially will get their mom together. It's hilarious.
It's true. Vicky Harnish, Jason is back, but only on podcast. Yeah. By the way, guys, I did want to say you guys have been asking for Anchor Watch for a long time now, and Jason is back, but he is only doing it on the podcast because he's doing it in between working on Blow, so he can't really what is it called? What is it when you
Commit?
make time the same time? Commit. Thank you. Jesus.
There you go.
Can't really commit to the same time every week, which is really annoying for the viewers for live shows. So he is putting it on the podcast and he's going to have fun guests. Ashley, thank you. I don't know where my brain went to mush for a second.
It's
you.
okay.
It
It
happens.
happens to the best of us.
100% it does.
And Sergio, thank you. I'm not doing
Yes,
Blow right
we're
now.
just doing blow, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sergio.
Thank you. But all right, so guys, going into next week, just to keep it Real Housewives of Beverly Hills before we end up getting out of here, I don't know if you guys saw the scene that's about to go down at Dorit's house, but I also want to kind of hear what side you're on. Dorit, as everybody's sitting down, somebody asked Sutton, like, hey, Sutton, what would you like to drink? And Dorit's like, are you kidding me? You're asking Sutton? Obviously vodka. And Sutton goes, don't do that. Really, Dorit, don't do that. You're such a bitch. And then Dorit literally turns over to her and she's like, excuse me? A bitch? Don't call me a bitch in my own house. Don't do that. And I'm like, well, she just literally opened up to you guys about how her father had an alcoholic and took his own life. And then you're literally playing into her alcoholism that you're saying that she has, which I don't know. I don't know Sutton. And then she called you a bitch and now you're getting mad at her, but like you kind of pulled the trigger on this one.
I saw some discourse. I didn't watch the clip, but I did see some discourse about how the group is always, the sisterhood is always antagonizing Sutton so that she can like freak out because she's very easy to freak out. To me, they do the same thing on Jersey. They intentionally try to antagonize Teresa so she'll freak out. I think they do that with Sutton too. But I also think Dorit is still harboring some feelings about Sutton. So she's just trying to get her wax in where she can. But I agree. You threw the first shot. She's returning it. All is fair in the sisterhood.
Right. And I don't care if it's at your house or not. You started it. If we were at a
100%.
restaurant, you started it. If we were at my house, you started it. Like, you invited me here. I have every right to say what's on my mind.
100%.
But to defend Kyle Richards, Sutton, your ass just roasted her for the first time that she has walked off of any set in 14 years. And you literally just walked off again. And we have seen you with the ugly leather pants and multiple other times where you're like, what?
Yeah.
And then you just like storm off and it's like, you just did it again after you roasted her. Like the hypocrisy is real. Did anybody just watch Lisa Rinna and Andy Cohen?
Oh,
the
my
hypocrisy
God.
is so ridiculous right now.
My God.
Oh my God.
It's so
by
much
the way,
hypocrisy.
if you guys see, like when I do videos now, like even when I want to talk about things, I love Ashley and Amani's coverage on Taste of Reality. So like I have my places where I go and I'm like, well, what is going on? And I like to look at it. And it's just so fun to see the style of writing and like the little personality that you guys put into it. And you see, like,
thank you
like,
for noticing.
Thank
yeah,
you.
it really, like, even when I was reading the one about Dorinda and you're like, well, the Berkshires line out Berkshires.
Sorry,
And like, I just have fun with like, and this is not because you guys are here. I swear I wouldn't just, it's like what Ashley said to me. Like Ashley took a minute to give us, oh, Amani, we have to send you some blow. She took a minute to give us a review and she's like, I'm not going to review something like not honestly, like I needed to try it and see before she did. And I said,
it took a week because I took several doses so I could make them both to make sure I had a well-rounded opinion before I put my oh yay, taste buds. Before I put my stamp of approval on it. I want to be trusted. Imani and I want you to trust us.
Yeah.
Well, no, and I appreciate that. You know, like even though I was like, Ashley, you better not give me some 3-star shit on there. But no, I really do appreciate it. And it's like the same thing. I'm not going to go on and just say that I like something that I don't. I really won't. If I don't believe in it and I don't like it, I'm not going to talk about it. And like going on Taste of Reality, I just have fun. I like looking at your live discussions, all of the things. So
Judy, he needs to. I think you would do an excellent coverage of Baldoni and Lively. Adam.
I mean, you know, at this point, I kind of feel like Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, like we're kind of like getting to the point where I feel like it's the judge is going to be like, what the, like he's going to stop it.
He's going to say his panty liner's tired, and I don't blame him. So is mine.
Well, it's crazy.
Isn't that what that lady Deanna or whoever said on Jersey? Even my panty liner's tired. Didn't Jersey Dallas?
That was Leanne Locken from Real Housewives of Dallas.
Yeah, thank you.
That lives rent free in my head.
Because otherwise, that would have sounded so random coming from me, like out of nowhere. Like I'm going to talk about my panty liner. Can we talk about a product real fast? One of those products that, like, I'm going to be Bethany Frankel real fast. You guys, I talked about this last time, and this is Harry Hamlin's pasta sauce. There is so much chatter around this pasta sauce. Am I going to be Bethany? And nobody asked for this. Am I going to do an official review?
Can I have
Harry
it?
Hamlin's
like, I think
sauce?
that Amani and I have time. I want to speak for both of us.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
We do.
So I will be coming back.
You haven't tried it yet?
No, I did. I had it at a friend's house. I ordered a pack of 3, and I brought one to a friend, and we ate it. But we didn't eat it with pasta. We just ate it like just to taste it. So, and Amelia, Harry's daughter, said you can't just eat it. You need to eat it with pasta. So I'm gonna make it. I think and review it. I didn't care to answer Val's question. No, I did not like it at all. But again, I just had a spoonful of it, and it made my face do this because it was like red wine, like just straight red wine flavor.
I don't know that I would like that, but you know what? I could, if you made me a bolognese, I would try it.
Let me see
real fast. And I think it was Greyhound Girls that said this, and we need to note. Can we talk about Kyle Richards needing to tell Kathy we're on FaceTime? Don't put the phone next to your ear. I love Kathy. Kathy is a treasure. Like, what?
She's not going anywhere. I love that woman.
Not going anywhere.
I asked her. I talked to her. It was 2 days ago, and I was like, Kathy, can I send you some blow? And I'm waiting for a response, but I don't know if she knows what I meant.
Oh, that's funny.
You probably doesn't, Adam.
We're going to find out. Hold on. Before you give us, if you're going to commit to this, Ashley, I know that especially, I've seen the site. I know your Instagrams. I know your TikToks. You ladies don't half-ass anything. It's why I love having you guys around. So speaking of somebody who does not half-ass anything, I'm just going to give you some inspiration here for all of you guys who don't know. This is one of the few Harry Hamlin pasta sauces reviews. Here we go.
Harry Hamlin, we're about to try your sauce. I have the picnic basket. It was beautiful, but this is all we really care about. Thanks for these. I'll be washing it, regifting it to somebody else. But this is what we care about.
Oh, she came in like salty anyways.
People love Carbone. People love Rayo's. We're doing a side-by-side. for the people. Wasting a jar of tomato sauce, don't need it too open. Lord's work. I have an assistant with me, and they're going to give me 1 spoon at a time. Don't tell me which is which, okay? Okay, hand me 1 spoon. One is Rayo's, one is Harry.
Love the spoons.
This tastes nice. Okay. No, I don't know what that is. I don't like that. It tastes like vinegar or wine or something.
Sorry.
No, I can't.
Let me try it.
It's rosemary red wine, but I don't know that the world needed that.
Just dips her. Oh, sorry. Dips her.
Okay.
Put a spoon in there.
I see.
You don't
what you
double
mean.
dip. Is that a
no,
different
I
one?
have
Okay.
this one. This is sorry.
We
It's
can't.
very strong.
I'm so sorry. Shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't live. She didn't have to post this.
Here's my pitch. Business is hard, so you better know now. Just go back. Let's just try another flavor. But like business is hard, so you'd rather have a friend tell you than hear from a bunch of strangers. I once canceled $60,000 worth of bathing suits that we were going to sell on HSN because I didn't think they were good. And I was like, I can't sell it to them. And my partners and we're like, it doesn't matter. It'll go to discount stores. I'm like, oh, so people paying less are going to go buy the bathing suits? No, it represents me. So this cannot represent Harry and Lisa. Can't.
You know what though? I have to say really quick, just to kind of defend that. I've asked everybody with our new book that's coming out, like the What's, and also even Blow CBD. I want honest answers too. So if people go and review it, I know that Jason and I, like, it's like you kind of know that you're putting your heart. People are gonna review Taste of Reality. You guys
we
redid
get
your
it.
site. You know what I mean? Like,
We get that.
like people will tell you what they like and what they don't, and it's like it's up to you or me or any of us who have our own little businesses to just figure out in a way how to make it better or how to filter out the noise.
But when
Agreed.
you're friends with somebody, like I would like call you or text you like you did to us the other day and say, Adam, yo, I don't know if this was right to have on your site. You called me, you were like, hey girl, you wrote something incorrectly. So I was like, oh shit, I did. And I went back and fixed. Like, you don't go onto a public platform necessarily to say those things. Like if you have a personal relationship, you can be like, yo, let me tell you this. Cause like that didn't need to be public. We love it. We love that.
Bethany is a savage. And if we think that she's going to be anything less, she's
But
not.
you know what? 2 things. Number one, Bethany is also somebody I would hate to work for. Going back to our previous conversation, that's 1. 2, I'm kind of live for Bethany's reviews. Like she has kind of become the people's reviewer on TikTok. And it's really interesting to watch because I actually trust her reviews on stuff. Granted, Harry Hamlin responded to Bethany's review yesterday or the day before. And he was like,
taste is subjective.
correct. He was like, taste you cannot account for. If somebody might like it, somebody might not. Like you can't judge taste. So like I like listening to Bethany's reviews, but at the same time, her taste buds, pun intended, might be a little different than mine. So I might love the sauce. What's the price point, by the way, Ashley?
I got them. You can order them from him and like buy the jars so expensive. You could buy them off of Amazon. I ended up buying them off of Walmart because I got free delivery. It was not free delivery on Amazon. And I think 3 jars were like, by the time I paid for everything, like $50, which is a lot so that's like $12.50 a jar, $13 a jar. So it's more than we usually spend, but like I usually buy Rayos or Carbone and they're like 8 to 10 usually.
Yeah, I've never bought in Carbone, but I usually buy Rayos when it's buy one, get one at Publix, shout out. And it's like, I think $8 or $9 a jar. So that's kind of a high price point, especially for not good tasting sauce.
We'll see. I'm going to give you my taste of I'm going to give you a taste, and yes, I agree. Taste is subjective, but also, I love that blow versus Tamara. No offense, Tamara. We have space for everybody, but I do believe, yes, taste is subjective. But if we were to go and we were to sit down and do an Iron Chef America with people who are famous chefs, people who understand with great palates, who understand flavor profiles, they would tell you what is the better sauce. Like, for instance, I went to UNLV, and I know this sounds weird, but at UNLV, there's this group, and it's a class called Brewmasters, and you learn how to brew your own beer. And while isn't that amazing? Go UNLV, go Rebels. But while I think Bud tastes like crap, Bud is actually a very high rated beer based on the flavor profiles. Like when they rate beers, it checks the boxes. That doesn't mean I like it.
Sure.
But it technically checks the boxes, which makes it a high quality beer. And I don't think that, and I'm sorry, Harry Hamlin, I would love a private cooking class. You can show me yourself what I'm doing wrong. But from the small taste I had, I don't think Harry's would rate well. But I'll be back with a formal opinion.
I also just want to add in here, I grew up on some, I grew up with a lot of family, and we were on a budget, and still to this day, I'm always on my ragu for $2.50. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and all I do is I take the same thing. It's always the ragu, and I just dice up tomatoes and add some pepper,
funny.
a little bit of hot sauce in it, and that's what I do. We're all different, you guys. It's true. It's what Harry said. Taste is subjective.
Well, this is a great conversation I want to have. And Adam's family in the comment section, I want to hear your POV on this. So on Beverly Hills last night, we learned that Kyle asked to put sugar in her grits. That is a wild thing because sometimes in the South, you don't put sugar in your grits, but up north, for example, my family, when they cook like not lasagna, but spaghetti, they put sugar in the sauce. So I'm curious, like, what do you guys do?
I don't even know what the hell grits are.
How do you live in the South and not know what grits are?
I have never tried a grit.
Adam, Jason needs to make you some grits.
Okay.
I don't think Jason knows what grits are either.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm from Chalmette, Louisiana. We're right next door to New Orleans, and this is crushing my soul.
Shrimp and grits?
Oh my God. First of all, the only thing you put on grits are butter and cheese, period. And then you could like cook it in like bacon fat or ham fat. Like that's totally acceptable. But what? Okay. And Adam, I'm pointing, and that means I mean it. I don't know if Lori, your friend, is listening.
Oh, she loves
you, Adam. We need a group chat. And when we're at your house, I'm going to teach you how to make damn grits and to cook a few things for yourself because at home, you should be making your own sausage, egg, and cheese sandwiches. I'm sorry. That's bad for the environment to go out and waste all that packaging at fast food every day. Let alone the amazing amount of calories that you're eating by not eating at home. Like
me DoorDashing every day.
So much better options. Like,
shout out to Corner Perk Hilton Head Island for providing my breakfast every single morning. I appreciate you.
I didn't realize you went there every morning.
No, it's literally I don't cook.
What are grits? Grits, people, grits.
It's a grain.
Grits are? We don't know what grits are. Grits are a grain.
Another little Southern staple that I haven't tried ever is biscuits and gravy.
I love B&Gs.
No. I look at it. I'm weird. I'm like one of those texture people. When my parents used to make me sit there and eat cereal with milk, I would have to pour the cereal little bits of amounts like at a time so I can eat it while it was still hard. Because
you want it crunchy. Soggy. I get that.
That's valid.
Yeah. So like biscuits and gravy and like soggy mush that I feel like I'm eating like jailhouse slop. I'm like,
I don't know how to. They're asking what grits are. I don't even really know how to.
I would say it's like best compared to like an oatmeal. But not as watery.
I've never tried oatmeal.
I'm shocked to hear that, actually.
It's almost like the texture of like a risotto, maybe.
Yeah, risottos are good.
Like texture-wise, it's very soft. It doesn't have texture. And it's grainier.
It's gritty, which makes sense.
Gritty, grit. Yeah, I guess that's why they call it grits. Have you guys ever seen My Cousin Vinny, that movie? They have a great scene about grits and instant grits versus like the real grits.
Exactly. I know what you're talking about.
Good.
What we'll do when you guys, Adam, you're from Florida and haven't had grits. This is a crime against.
I'm sorry, Adam. I don't mean to be a hater, but I'm with TFC on this. Like, you need to get educated here, my friend.
Guys, you know what though? One of my favorite meals is like, and this is very Florida and Southern of me. It's like my all-time favorite is gator. I've
never had gator, so
it's delicious.
It's like, but I haven't had grits. I haven't had biscuits and gravy. I have never had risotto. No,
You're
there's
not a food guy. Oh, and in the group note that we have, friends, when we're in South Carolina, there is one of the upcoming contestants on Top Chef that debuts like next month, I think. One of the contestants owns a restaurant in Charleston. So I'm like, we have to put his restaurant on our list, friends. We have to go eat that food. And because I know Adam, you've said, I didn't say this, you said you don't have a very good palate as far as being adventurous.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, and we're gonna go out and try something new.
You know what?
Food.
Lori, I'm sending Lori all of the love today. This is not particularly the best day for Lori, but Lori is sending Lori all of the love. And
Sending love, Lori.
Yeah. And she would always invite me over, and she's always cooking. She's from Kentucky, so she's always cooking some Southern shit, like whether it's chili or whatever. And she's putting it together, and her kids she'll make dino nuggies for, and they get so mad at me because I split the dino nuggies with the kids, and they're like, "What the fuck? Get out of here!" Like they're like, "Get your ass out of here! Like you're not a part of this." And I'm like,
that's so funny.
Cindy, pass me a dino nuggie. And she's like,
dino nuggie. Yeah.
Like, get in your car and like go. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
So we have an entire, I've never tried them, but we have an entire frog leg festival where I live.
I've never tried them.
But I've never had one.
Really, you guys? I think they taste like swamp. Like people are like,
Really?
They taste like chicken. No, they don't. They taste like swamp.
I've heard they taste like
murky swamp.
You know what else I didn't like was venison.
I don't like game, really.
Yeah. I don't like venison. Like I love fish. I
like fish.
I'm a weirdo. But then also, let me real quick, because I know like you guys also have a lot to do today, but there was when Jason and I were in Thailand, we were starving, and we went on this 2-hour excursion, but it was like 2-hour ride to get to the excursion. And we're starving, and there was this little like food cart on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere. And we pulled over, and this guy had a stick up this thing's ass, and the tentacles were like wrapping around the stick. Ew. And he's like, okay. And I think it was like 500 baht, something like that, which is $15. And literally hands it to Jason, and Jason goes, and he's like, for you? And I was like,
no, thank you.
Oh no, my God, it's so crazy. I'm so full. No, I'm not going to be having that. Thank you.
Meanwhile, I'm pounding Doritos in the background.
Oh, and Jason will sit there and eat anything, like it's funny. Like we're just so wildly different. I ask him in the morning, like even every morning, I'm like, okay, what do you want for breakfast? And he's like, you fuck up my order every single day. So I don't care. Get whatever you get. That's what I'll have. Anytime I ask you for something, you never get it right. Cause my attention span is like nil. And he's like, no, I don't care. I'm like, avocado toast. I don't care. Octopus. I don't care. I'm like, octopus for breakfast. I don't care. I'm like, I'll stick with the sausage, egg, and cheese on a biscuit. But yeah,
I'm with you on that one, Adam. I love me that sandwich.
Yeah. But also, by the way, Ashley, if you're going to sit there and go on me about my breakfast, it is literally like my one meal of the day. And then the rest of the day, I really don't have anything. I have my one like little like heavy girl meal that I have over here. And I'm just like, nom, 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 nom. And then I have like pistachios.
Oh my God, you're such I love a girl dinner.
Yeah.
No, literally girl dinner.
Yeah.
All day. My husband loves girl dinner, and he thinks it's hilarious that it's called girl dinner. And he'll text me. He's like, Ashley, I'm just going to have girl dinner tonight. If you want anything, please let me know, and I'll take care of it. And I'm like, no, girl dinner is good for me. And I'm obsessed.
I love a girl dinner.
I stand and eat girl dinner like Carrie Bradshaw. Like when Carrie Bradshaw in Sex and the City said that like her secret single behavior was like standing and eating like cheese and crackers. I'm like, yeah, that's girl dinner. And I'm like, Carrie Bradshaw, I eat it the same way standing.
Yeah, we sit there and we're just like last night, I said to Jason, I said, what do you want? And he's like, can you just give me one of those like little Lunchable charcuterie things that you take off and like just a couple of like honey cashews and
100%.
And a ginger ale? And I was like, a ginger ale? He's like, or a Michelob Ultra. And I said, what the fuck? A Michelob Ultra? That is not a ginger ale.
No, so like, different.
He's like, like just however adventurous you feel. Like you could get a little bit of this. You can get a little bit of that. Like you just surprised me. And I was like, ginger ale it is. I was like, you're taking blow before bed, so there will be no Michelob
Fair.
Ultra in the making of this movie. Thanks.
No,
So
thank you.
true. Ginger ale it is.
Ginger ale it is. But guys, in case they don't know, as fun as this has been, an hour and 10 minutes
No.
in, if
Are
they
we
don't
a food
know,
blog now?
what?
Are we a food blog now? Like, should we switch?
We are a taste of reality
We
here.
are.
I mean,
Oh my God, you guys need to do a taste buds category on the top that is just for like housewives and celebrity like things that are consumable,
ooh.
where you guys get to review them. And then you guys can be the new trusted source. That would be so fun.
Oh my
Especially
God.
because I'm
Yes.
here to say, Ashley, if she doesn't like it, she's not going to just give you a fake review. Trust me, she won't. She takes her
No.
time. She's like, I'm taking a
won't.
week.
No,
Yeah.
I don't do
And
that.
Amani. Well, Amani, I haven't seen yet because I got to send Amani some blow. But starting with Ashley, and I feel like it trickles down anyways because they're in
Yes,
business together.
100%.
Most people who are in business together, we kind of just like, that's you align yourself with people who are like
Like-minded.
you.
Yes.
Yeah, like-minded people. All right, guys, let's get into it.
All right. So these are our live discussions at tasteofreality.com. We have so much fun here. We get very snarky. So thank you for joining us. Scroll down to the bottom of the article. There's a discuss section. You do have to like log in to discuss, but
Takes 2 seconds.
it takes 2 seconds and the conversations are so good. If you go anywhere on our site, you see on the right-hand side, the far right of the side, you see the little magnifying glass, Adam? Can you click in the search bar? Can you just type in Harry Hamlin sauce, for instance? I mean, you can literally go here. And we have so many things in our history. Like these are results about Harry Hamlin sauce. Imani recently wrote about the clapback that Harry Hamlin did
That's
a few
the
months ago when that video was originally out. I had written an article. It was around Christmas. I had written something about his sauce in the first place, and then his daughter. I mean, we cover everything, random stuff, all this. Some of the things that a lot of people don't necessarily cover, we cover. So a lot of sometimes odd niche things, but it's not just Bravo. We love Bachelor. We love The Traders. We go all over the genres. So
Culture in
find
general.
reality and beyond. So that's the website.
All right. And then if they don't know, will we let them know?
If you also are more of an IG girly or you like both, we encourage you to follow us on Instagram. We also have a wide range of topics that we cover on there. Super exciting because Summer House is back tonight. Cannot wait. I started this thing now where after a premieres, I'll write a recap of it. So I'll have my Summer House recap uploaded tomorrow. But we just posted something snarky to her Instagram story, which we love. So we posted that right before we went on live. She did an interview this morning with Elle. Well, it came out today. So yeah, we just like to post memes sometimes, talk about what's going on. Super excited for this. You can read about it on our site. Ashley covered this. It's going to be like the Hulu Vanderpump Villa. So that's really fun and interesting.
Which, by the way, guys, I just went there for Halloween. Bluestone Manor and Dorinda Medley. I met her family. I met the staff of people who like help make all of the magic happen. We won't want to miss it. I'll tell you that. And I can say that from working with I didn't work with Lisa Vanderpump, working for Lisa Vanderpump. Like an icon. Yeah. It's going to be amazing.
I think it's funny that people not in the Bravo sphere are probably like Lisa Vanderpump at a chateau in France or Dorinda Medley at a manor in Massachusetts. They're like, how is one like the other? And I'm like, no, don't be fooled. I mean, don't get me wrong. Vanderpump Villa is iconic AF, but I would just as much like to go to Bluestone Manor as I would like to go to a French chateau. Bluestone Manor
100%.
is everything. And Dorinda, I love you. Please invite us.
No,
You know what's so
I
funny?
would die.
Even when we went and Lori, it was me, Lori, Jason, and oh my God, guys, I have to tell you a funny story really quick before we get off. Okay. Really quick. we were in the car getting ready to leave. And it was funny because as Dorinda was cutting the cake, she decided to just stick her whole hand in the cake and then just like do whatever she wanted. And I was like, oh, this is wild. This is not, it started off like it was so put together. And then it was just like fun, you know? It was just a great time. It was a party.
Oh, I
And
would never. If she gave me, like, I was so worried about my P's and Q's at Kathy Hilton's house. Like, I will come right to your house, Dorinda. I will not wear shoes inside of your home. I will not try to bring food. Imani and I come correct.
well,
Yes.
we all came correct. It was Dorinda who was like, this is my manor. I'm going to do whatever I want.
Well, and
So
she's
she
allowed
should.
to.
I'll
She
bring
was-
slippers, whatever.
there were these
Yes.
two guys who they were there and we didn't talk to them the whole time. And we just kind of, you know, like we just didn't have conversations with them, and not a big deal. Like there was a bunch of people there and everybody was so nice, and Dorinda surrounds herself with like these amazing people. But at the end there was no like Ubers because it's a small town,
Mhm.
right? So there were no Ubers, and Jason drove home. And so they're like, well, can we get a ride from you? We said, okay. So the guy goes to get into the car, and his husband or boyfriend was trying to get in the back. And he's like, well, how do you open this? And the guy's sitting in the chair. I press the button and it slams him forward. And I
Oh,
was like,
God.
"Oh," and it like crunched him in the seat. And I was like, no, I think it's this button. Mind you guys, this is a rental car. We don't know it. So I pressed the second button. It slams him forward.
Oh,
And I was like, oh no. And then Lori goes, Adam, stop. And like Lori and I were the ones who were drinking. Jason wasn't drinking anything. And Lori's like, Adam, it's this button. It slams him forward. And then the husband was like, guys, what are you doing? Like, this is no. Like, what are you guys doing? And then Jason said, you guys are tipsy. Hold on. It's this button. Presses it again, slams him forward. And we're just like, okay, everybody stop pressing the buttons. But I told Dorinda the next day and she was dying laughing.
So
not
that's
because
that
there was
guy's-
nobody hurt in the making of that.
That's so funny. So that is that guy's villain origin story.
Yeah, I mean,
When he just
we are so
snapped.
sorry. And if you guys don't know too, you can find Taste of Reality on TikTok.
Yes, we love making TikToks.
Yeah, sorry about the traders recaps. Oh, for the record, well, number one, I'm not really technically on TikTok. I sort of got back on, but my husband, and this might be to everybody, my husband just got a new phone and he had TikTok, and he asked the guy when he got a phone, "Is TikTok in a transfer?" And he said, "Yeah, but it didn't." So if you have TikTok on your phone, and Imani, I know you just got a new phone, and I'm so glad you did.
Prior to the ban.
Prior to the blackout, my husband's
Yeah.
new phone does not have TikTok, even though his old one did. So be careful, friends.
Hmm.
See, I made that today because I'm wearing this outfit.
That's good to know. That's good to know. All right, guys. We'll also follow the ladies on tasteofreality.com, Taste of Reality on Instagram, Taste of Reality on TikTok. And don't forget, we are still doing our giveaways. We're doing the Dominican Republic next.
Ooh.
And then, of course, if you guys want, you can go check out any of our products, click on it, and then pretty much because somebody was asking me, Adam, this didn't work for me. Like I tried to go and enter to win, but like I went to checkout and like nobody sent me anything. It's not really sending you anything. All you have to do is go when you check out, use code ROSE, like I'm typing in right here, apply. And then once you check out, you can see where the discount comes in. But on the back end, we can see what you guys are doing. So it's easy for us to see who used the code. And that's how the winners are chosen. Now, this week, after February 14th, well, starting now, if you guys want to, we are starting a new contest. It's a giveaway to the Dominican Republic. It's for 5 days. I just want to show you guys this really quick. It's for 5 days. It's to the Dominican Republic. It's a wellness retreat, and there's a private chef. There's all of the things. And yeah, it's going to be wild. So our friend who owns the company decided to give us a trip to give away to you guys. All you have to do is go on TikTok or Instagram, tag us in it, and tag them at the Elevate Collective. This is the house. And just make a video walking up to somebody you know or somebody maybe that you don't and ask them, have they tried blow? We want to see their reactions. We know what they're going to be. I think we can assume. But then once they while out on you, we just want you to tell them, no, blow CBD at theblowcompany.com. And that's all you have to do. It's literally just make a video Doesn't matter if it's with a friend. Convince us. I don't care if it's with a friend, a family member, or the woman that you see at self-checkout at Publix. Shout out to you, Amanda. I love you. That's it. So yeah. And may the odds be ever in your favor. Ashley and Amani, thank you so much. We will be joining the live chats the rest of the week, and we love you guys.
Love you
Bye,
guys.
guys.